This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 231 of This is the G Podcast. Yes. I'm excited, man. No lie to you. I am excited. So let me go ahead and do it one more time. Hadn't played the air horn in a minute. My spirits are up. And let me say this, because, you know, for me, man, I'm just glad to see these coalitions wake up. That's all. I mean, forget about the fact that Biden stepped down, which you can't really forget about it. It's big news. And you know, for some reason, news is always happening after we tape. But still, I want to mention that. And we'll play the clips and we'll get into it in a few. But I got to say, there's a lot of fight coming out of the party and out of and just out of the country right now. It just seems like a big awakening. And I'm gonna get into it. I'm Tommy B. You know, Vi the Country Commentator is here, y'all. Give it up. Vi, thank you so much for getting in, man. And Talib Shabazz is in the building. Talib, thank you so much, man, for coming back another week. And before we get rolling, I got to give a shout out to Darlene in the DMV. Shout out. Checks us out on YouTube every week. So she gets to see Darlene. Darlene, she gets to see the progression of gray in my beard. I got, you know, it's just, I got to go back to that. What's his name? Play for the Cowboys. What's the running back? Emmitt Smith. Just like that Emmitt Smith commercial.
I've been told to trim mine, damn. My mama said, boy, you can cut that off. What you trying to do?
For the fellas who know the Emmitt Smith commercial, you understand. You understand. Yeah. But shout out, Darlene. We really appreciate you. Thank you for checking us out. And for everybody who checks us out on YouTube, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know, each week we do news, politics, pop culture, and then piping our tea from the one and only Tonya B. And you know, I'm going to say this real quick. It feels like 6 to 8 months have passed in a week. A lot of time progression. I don't know what about it this week in a good way. It feels like 6 to 8 months. Just like rapidly passed. So I want to play this clip just to kind of stage where we are.
Before I was elected United States Senator, I was elected Attorney General of the state of California, and I was a courtroom prosecutor before then. And in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Yes. Yes, she went in, and of course this happened this week as well.
President Biden spoke to the nation last night and said he was passing the torch to a new generation.
It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title.
While he didn't actually say that he was stepping aside because polls show that he would lose, he did make it clear that his vice president was ready to take on the job of protecting democracy. The president also outlined his priorities for the remainder of his term, including managing the economy, calling out hate, and Supreme Court reform. The White House is also pushing back at speculation that Mr. Biden's health was a factor in his decision, saying it was not.
And I'm going to play this because the organizers really do seem to come together. You got the black women held a Zoom call, black men, even the white women held a Zoom call, and the young vote seems to be organized and energized. And I got to play this.
So how much money did Democrats raise with Kamala Harris now the favorite to replace Biden on the November ballot? A whopping $81 million in just 24 hours, a record, according to the Harris campaign.
Hey, guys, I got to ask you, and I'm going to start with, let's start with you, Talib. It's been a whirlwind. I'll start with you, Talib. What are you feeling from this week?
Really what to feel, because I do feel like there's a new energy that's moving through in terms of politics. And while exciting, it's also a little disheartening because if you think Michelle Obama caught hell from the right, you know, talking about her being a man and, you know, monkey and all that stuff, wait till you see what's about to happen to the vice president now that she's running. You know what I mean? So it's like, while I'm excited because people are now excited about this choice, at the same time, I'm also looking at it like, I don't know if she's really going to be ready for what's about to happen, you know, because it's about to get really ugly. You can already see it, you know what I mean?
I'm glad
with
you
the
said
DEI
that.
and all that,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, let me ask you, Talib, and I'm just going to ask you straight up. Why do you think, how does that make you feel disheartened? I'm curious. I'm not curious. I know your answer, but I want you to.
You gotta think, man. Okay. So here's the thing. I was under a false impression of the amount of arrests and everything that Kamala Harris was really responsible for. I don't have my notes here. I did take some notes.
but you know what? Here's the deal, Talib, just to help you a little bit. On the website, we put up the AP article.
Okay.
With all the misconceptions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So if anybody has any concerns about what's being said from the other side or whatever, then they can go to the website. The AP article is there, and it addresses the issue of her putting people in jail in San Francisco.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So, you know, with that being said, I'm sorry that I felt the way. I'm sorry that part helped to influence the fact that I really have never been excited about Kamala Harris. And I'm not excited about her now. You know, there's I think the wrong people are getting excited about Kamala Harris being in, which leads me to have to look a little bit more to see what's going on. But what I had determined in my head is that I will not stand for any disrespect. The woman has accomplished a lot. Attorney General, you know, state senator. These things, you know, the fact that she's an attorney in the first place, you know, is an accomplishment. So let's not really get into this argument about is she qualified, because she's as qualified as anybody else who's ever run for office. You know, is she exciting? Do I need to really dig into what her policies are going to be now that she's going for the biggest ticket in the land? Yeah, but I do feel excited because there are a lot of people who are in these local elections and you know, federal elections that this will help.
Yeah, it helps down ballot. It does.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I'm feeling like, okay, there's something is about to happen, because we all know that to me, up until now, it had been very stagnant. You know what we were going to get from the two old men.
Yeah,
you know,
and
now you know, I don't know what's happening with J.D. Vance, but you know, it's looking like Republicans are not very happy with that choice. You know, he's getting, you know, the white supremacists are already coming out against his wife.
Yep.
You know, I'm telling you, this, yeah. So, you know, disheartened because, yeah, this white versus everybody is about to get started in this country. You know what I mean? And we'd be lying to ourselves not to say, you know, to think that it's going to be as tame as it's been in the past.
Yeah, I agree. Let me go to you, Vi.
Well, I mean, I know how I feel. So I am surprised how well this is turning out for her. But I'm not really worried because I think she's ready for this. Because I'm pretty sure all this stuff they threw at her, she went through this as a California district attorney. So I'm kind of excited because people are really going to see Magna for what they are now. Because they ain't trying to hide. Because they can't hide. Because they are so upset. This is not what they wanted. They wanted to run against an old man. Right. Not only is not an old man, now we got a young woman and she's black. It's their nightmare because they don't care for women that much, and they definitely care for the blacks, and they're showing it. And the sad thing about it, the Republicans are trying to tell them, back off. Stop saying DEI. Don't make this about the race. But they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
So we are the country is finna find out. If y'all didn't think racism out there now, you better believe me, they're gonna throw it in your face. So they're gonna have to acknowledge it to death. Because the magnet is not gonna hold back. So I'm excited about it. Because they can't control themselves. They can't. So yeah, I'm excited. Because I've always thought it was there. Most of it was there. But these white people who didn't think it was there, they finna find out it's there.
Yeah.
And they already see it. Because you got what? Rice, Coletta Rice. She's a Republican. She's taking up for her. Mm-hmm. So they let you know. They gonna go out there and the Republican haters said, y'all need to calm down. Stop this D. Even the leader of the House said, she's not a DEI hire. She's a senator.
Right.
She's
If anything, like the House,
she has more experience than the president and the VP put together. So what are y'all opinions?
I'm glad you said that, Bob, because she's got more experience than the House, the head of the House.
Right.
He knows she's got more experience.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then it shows the only thing about black culture, because the dude had the nerve to say, a colored fraternity.
Yes.
We're not like white fraternity. When we pledge fraternity and sorority, black fraternity, we're there for life. White fraternity, after their freshman year, now everything ain't do it no more. We there for life. But see, they're gonna find that out. Cause he thinking she can just blow it off. No, she can't.
It'll pop back up when they're ready for that job interview. You know, I'm a Pike.
I'm saying that's the only thing that, to them it's just it's just a step on their resume. It's more than that for us. Yeah, for their resume. But other than that, they don't have fraternity meaning when they get out of college. They don't wear their symbols no more. They don't wear their letters anymore. They don't talk about it anymore. They're only use it as a freshman year and when they get a job. Other than that, and see, he's gonna find out we're much more than it's part of our culture. So it's gonna be black against white. I hate to say it, it's gonna be that way. And for the ones who in denial that think it's not, Madden is gonna make it because they can't help themselves. Because that's all they got right now. Because they never thought in a dream that Biden themselves there. So they're unprepared for it. So it's gonna get ugly because that's all they got.
Yeah, they're throwing everything they can, legal challenges, everything that they can do, and knowing, Trump is his only defense is always to delay. He's making another attempt to delay, and
you can't delay this. She's got what, less than 3 months?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, that's going to be.
He has to deal with this.
Well, but that whole getting the FEC thing involved, that's a whole different story, and that's going to have to be like, definitely rushed to the forefront to get that handled because.
Well, I will say this, and I want to move on, but I will say this: the Democrats haven't even gone to their convention yet. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you can make all the argument you want, but it's within Biden's right to step down. So all of this that you're talking about are technicalities. Trump knows he has the Supreme Court, so he's throwing as much as he can against the wall with hopes that it goes there. But I don't think, based on the history of the Supreme Court has not wanted to get involved in elections. Okay. They have made an effort not to. Now, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Let me go to my thoughts. I'm going to say this, and you can listen. One of the things about doing a podcast is you can always go back and challenge me because my words are in the recordings. Okay, so you can always go back. I've not been even going back to 2020, which I've been doing this podcast since Hillary ran against Trump. Okay. And I was not a huge Harris fan because when she attacked Biden in 2020, she all of a sudden disappeared. Her energy in that campaign just waned. And that's what concerned me about her before. I think it's a new time. It's a new day. And for what's happening right now, she is the person for this moment. And that happens. You may not like somebody, but if you look back at history, you know, it may not be the person. I mean, honestly, I didn't think Obama was the right person at that moment, you know, at the moment before he started to run.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, damn, wait a minute. You got Hillary versus Obama. Who is this? Who is this guy?
Right. Where did he come from?
So you know, I think in some cases people are the right people for the moment. I think she's prepared for the moment. That's what I will say.
Right.
One,
I think
because one of the main things I was concerned about, and I've said it on this podcast many times, Biden just would not. He could not push the agenda in the moment in his speeches. In the debate, he failed miserably. He could not push the agenda. He could not fight. He's a good guy, but he just couldn't fight.
That's why.
It was like watching Tim Conway on the Carol Burnett show, the old guy.
Man,
back in the day.
I was saying the same thing.
He's
Mr. Tudweller.
Yes, it was painful. It was painful to watch.
He's an old school politician. He believes.
No, Vi, he's old.
I mean, he is old. But when I say old, he's definitely old now. But when I said his tactic is because he believes compromise.
Okay. Well, see,
they don't believe in that no more.
Right. Okay.
They're not hearing that no more.
Let me do the Maxine Waters on you. I'm gonna recall my time for just a moment, and I gotta say, he old. Now that has nothing to do. Here's the deal.
He's old. Who's trying to take that from him?
Here's the deal. I'm not saying there's some 90-year-old people like Warren Buffett will eat you alive. You know what I'm saying? Warren Buffett, there's some 90-year-old people who have much more energy than Joe Biden.
He don't have it.
But what I'm saying is his aging is almost premature. You know, I'm not saying 80-year-old people can't do the job. I'm just saying that his aging process is almost premature to the point where he just can't do it.
He was already old, and that job makes you age twice as fast as you would at a normal job.
Right, but what I'm saying, I don't want to seem like I'm an ageist here because
you're not.
Because 80-year-old people, I know plenty of 80-year-old people who will kick your ass.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
I know people. Look, I know 80-year-old people. When I used to run, and I ran a marathon, and I ran, their asses were out there kicking my ass. Right. On the 5Ks and the 10Ks.
Tommy B, I agree with you. What I'm saying is he aged faster than he probably would have if he would not been in office. And that's sad.
Definitely.
Because he just
look at Obama.
Yeah. And Obama looked like Obama went in there young and came out like he was 60.
Right, exactly.
But as young as Bush was. At the end of Bush's term, and what is Bush doing right now? Painting damn flowers and flowers.
You can't
unicorns.
If you care about your country and you take that job, it's gonna make you age tremendously.
Yes.
Like Trump don't give a damn. He played golf the whole while, so he just do like a regular job. Right. So it didn't bother him none.
Damn. Right, because he was a CEO.
Right. But I want to get through this, Vi. I want to get through this. Okay. Harris needs the thing that, you know, I am hoping that certain people at the top of the Democratic Party step down because they need to understand that this is a moment, and right now the launch is always the biggest phase. Okay, the truth of the success is sustaining. Okay, this is now about sustaining the energy, and that's the hardest part. The launch is always easy. The sustaining is what matters. And she needs to understand that what Trump is doing is the same it's the same strategy he used against Hillary. And he look, let me say it, Vi. He's a racist, he's a misogynist, and he's going to let that all out. He's going to do it in his speeches. He's much more unstable than he was back in 2016 and even 2020. He's increased. You know, you can tell because he's talking about dumb shit. He's talking about, you know what, electrocution versus sharks. Talking about Hannibal Lecter. I'm not just saying this. This has nothing to do with talking points. No Democrat. I mean, I am doing this as somebody who observes politics.
Right.
And I'm telling you, just like you said last week on the podcast, Talib, I tried to watch his damn speech, and it just started to go like, what the fuck? I mean, and I'm a kind of person, I watch Twilight Zone, and, you know, and all this, and I just felt like I was being sucked into a tsunami of bullshit.
Yes,
So
It was horrible,
look,
man.
and
It
then
was
you hear
horrible.
him say colored, and the
It was horrible.
DEI
It was
hire.
horrible.
Look, y'all, let me say this. This is not politics. This is not debate.
It's
okay?
not.
This is just some, you know, hate-filled rhetoric.
It is.
And I hate to say this, and I'm gonna say this up front. Y'all hoteps out there need to cut the shit. Okay, you can continue to be hotep in the barbershop and talk your bullshit, but you need to pull out of this. Okay, you need to step back and quit with the bullshit. You know, the little stupid shit like she ain't black and she's damn part Jamaican. You know, I mean, you need to stop. Okay,
They can't
okay,
have it,
you can.
but that's all they got.
You can do it,
all
and
they
I know
got.
that's all you got.
That's
But
all they got.
you need to stand down just for
That's
a
all they
minute.
got.
Just stand down. You know, they're going into the Barack Obama playlist.
Right.
You know, even to birtherism.
Look.
You know, hopefully we learn something. I got to say just a couple more things, and I'm gonna throw it back to y'all. The campaign, because I'd like your thoughts on this. The campaign needs to preemptively strike. They know exactly what he's going to say.
Sure.
If I was them right now, y'all, I would come out with a commercial and say, look, you know he's going to say this. You know he's going to say this. You know he's going. I mean, I would just take that shit away from them. Just lay it out, because they've already said it. They've been saying it since Hillary. The white grievance movement is on the rise.
On
Because
the
this
rise.
is what it's going to be, right? They're going to appeal to white grievance. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Because
2025.
it happened back in 2016. So, you know, I'm just telling you. Right now, the Democrats don't need to be all, I mean, I love the energy. More than anything, I love the youth energy right now. It is fucking the memes, you know, the fact that Beyonce is now involved, the word Taylor Swift make. I love that. But they also need to understand there's going to be a level of big girl pants that Kamala's going to have to put on. White women, you can't sit around and be silent. You got to be allies. You got to be solidarity partners in this. You just can't sit around and fucking be quiet. Like you did against Hillary, like you did against Barack Obama, but you came through at the end. Look, so I'm glad to see the coalitions come together, but shit's about to get rough. I agree with you, Talib.
It ain't got ugly yet. It ain't even got started yet.
No,
It's just the beginning.
It ain't started yet.
But I will say this: there is some backlash. I saw the cat lady thing that J.D. Vance said. He's starting to take some, and he went. Oh shit! He said something about Jennifer Aniston. You know, everybody loves her. She's from Friends, so he's about to get his ass kicked about that.
Oh, he catched a whole lot of flack.
And he should.
Y'all vet this guy. Y'all see the stuff he said in the past.
Well, you know, my whole thing, and I want to give it back to you guys, just for the last word on this whole thing. But I do want to say this, you know, when all of us know women who made a choice to not have kids, okay, either they made a choice or they could not do it. Can you imagine him saying some shit like that, you know, and just putting that out there like that? You know, and you know, women, you've got family members. It's just, oh my God. You know, and that's why it irks me when I hear or don't hear the evangels, the white evangelists not saying anything about all this bullshit he's done. They give him a pass on all this.
Everything.
And I say, oh my God. So women, if you know, and I used to say it, and I said this, you know, even when it came down to Hillary Clinton, I'm like, white women, what did you do? Not all y'all, but a lot of y'all voted for Trump, and you continue to vote for him. Okay, I'm gonna go back to you, Talib, last word, and then you, Vi.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've already seen examples of white women, you know, that are rallying behind Harris with, you know, Haley voters for Harris, you know what I mean? To the point where Nikki Haley, right? She's sending them a cease and desist letter.
Because it's some bullshit,
Yeah,
Talib.
I mean, this is gonna, you know, once again, I love the fact that everything is being exposed for what it is. If you want to see what it is, you know what I mean. This time, in these days and times, you know, look, man, people are being exposed as frauds. People are being exposed for whatever, you know, all this stuff that's done in the darkness is coming to light. That's, you know, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I think it's hilarious. And what we have to know is, look, unfortunately, when you are coming into a public office, you know, you do have to have some kind of moral turpitude. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's going to have to come back into this whole process for people to really feel like, okay, I can start to really believe again, because, you know, this is a bunch of mess that we've been looking at over the last couple of months.
Can I say something real quick, Talib, and then I'm gonna go to Vi? It affects the climate of everything when you have the president or a former president or someone running for president, you know, using words like crazy, you know, she's dumb as rocks, you know, because even when you have a sports debate and you're having a sports debate on Twitter or whatever, you can tell the ones who are MAGA because they immediately start name calling. They don't they can't debate with facts. They just thought, oh, you goofy as fuck, or you're dumb. You know, you can't even, you watch the debate, you can't get into facts because they're so quick to name call because it comes from the top. I'm gonna go to you real quick, because for time's sake, just real quick, Vi, just to close us out on this.
Well, I'm glad it's coming out, and I can't wait till when they start bringing out 2025 and they ask Vance about 2025 on Vance. Because he's a
Project 2025.
Project 20. He is a nightmare for Trump. Because there's no way they would have picked him to be the VP if they thought Kamala Harris could be the president. President.
Right. The one who called Trump Hitler. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
He is.
Hey,
they couldn't have picked a better person, as far as I'm concerned, to be their VP.
Yeah, so true. Hey, real quick, let's go to the next one, and this is, you know, we got to talk about this.
She called 911 for help, and now she's dead. That's the short story of Sonya Massey. The U.S. Justice Department wants to know exactly why it happened. Body camera video from the July 6th incident was released this week. It shows the 36-year-old woman inside her home in Springfield, Illinois, along with Sheriff Deputy Sean Grayson and another deputy. Things escalate when Massey moves a pot of boiling water from the stove to the sink. Seconds later, it appears she is shot and killed by Grayson. Grayson has been fired and faces charges. Massey's father is now calling for the resignation of the local sheriff. Not only is there growing outrage over the death of another black woman at the hands of authorities, there are also concerns about the former deputy. Grayson has worked for 6 different law enforcement agencies since 2020.
I'm going to go to you first, Vi. I'm going to go to you first.
Dude, when I saw that, I said, what in the world? Where's the question? He murdered that woman. He went in there. He went there to kill somebody. He's talking about hot water. Dude, she was so far away from you. If she had to do the hot water, it might have tingled you a little bit. She was that far away from you. That's no excuse. And they should fire the sheriff. From what I understand, I don't know if I'm telling facts, that they said they tried to tell the family and she committed suicide.
Wow.
They didn't even want to tell the family that the man.
Fired if that's the case. You're right.
I think it only came out like this because it was on camera. Was that a video cam? Or did it have a cam on?
No. This is body cam. This is body cam. Yeah.
What? How did he thought he can get away with it? He had a body cam.
Yeah. Okay, let me go to you, Talib.
Man, I got no words, man. This, it's like, okay. There's so many things to look at in this whole case, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change the fact that this woman was shot in cold blood.
Yeah,
she was murdered, point blank. Period. You know, that's murder. Yeah. And we got to get people. We have to get. There is such a lack of empathy in this country right now, and I don't know. I'm not saying I can't say in the world just because I don't be in the world. This country, there is such a lack of empathy for others. And, you know, I mean, how many more examples of this do we have to see? There has to be something. You guys got to come up with a better method of selecting people who are going to interface with the public, because these officers have no customer service skills. There's no personality checks in this whole thing.
Let me say this. We would have a George Floyd Act right now if not for Manchin and Sinema. Let me say it again. If not for Manchin and Sinema, Kirsten and Sinema, we would have a George Floyd Act. Okay, they refused to do away with the filibuster in the Senate, which would have allowed the George Floyd, because it was passed by the House at the time, it would have allowed this to go through. So let me say this. Every time we have an incident, it's their fault. It's their fault, okay? Because we would have had it. We would have had it done. And, you know, this would have flagged an officer who was a 6-time failure, okay, from being hired at another police force. It would have done that. It would have also required a mental health expert to be involved, okay, which we didn't have. You know, and again, it's a failure in Congress. I mean, you know, so whenever this happens, y'all, you need to hold up a picture of Manchin and Sinema, because it's their fault. You know, it's just and let me tell you what it's going to be. It's simply going to be another settlement for the family. And I hate to say it, it's another death lottery for the family who's going to get paid through Crump, but nothing's going to happen to fix the situation. We're all still vulnerable. And I'm just going to say it like that. All right, I'm going to go to you, Vi. Vi, you got one big thing for the week, and get right
it's
to
really
it.
not that big anymore. I was amazed how the superintendent just pulled the fund for the AP Black History course and gave no answer why he did it.
You know it's back now, right?
Oh, yeah, I was saying that's why it's not a big deal, because it's back. And I'm amazed that it probably came back because our governor asked him, why did you do that? And since he couldn't give an answer, they gave the money back. Yeah. And what did they say? Well, we still have European history. Who gives a F about European history?
Yeah. Because you're going to get that. Because you're going to get it anyway.
Right.
Right.
You teach that from first grade all the way up. Who cares about European history? My thing is, why are y'all so scared of Black history? Yeah. Why is white America so scared of Black history?
Guilt.
Why are y'all so scared of that?
White inferiority.
Why are y'all so scared? And you act like
frailty.
We built this country, so we have a right. Can't you be proud of our history like you're proud of your history?
Well, let me say this, Vi, and you know, because we could do a whole podcast on that. And you know, I'm just gonna say this. In a lot of cases, you know, folks don't want to deal with what they feel is going to change, what should be changed. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. And
woke concept. It ain't woke. We just want to know our history. You got a problem with knowing our history?
No, it's just about knowing what needs to be changed, or knowing how far you got to. We have to go. All right, Talib, what you got?
Trump tells Christians they won't have to vote after this election.
Wow.
According to Reuters, Donald Trump was speaking to a group of Christians on Friday, and he told them that if they vote for him this November, in 4 years, you don't have to vote again.
What?
We'll have it fixed so good, you're not going to have to vote.
Look, let me stop you there, Talib. Who says that? What president?
What person running for public office in the United States of America that understands the Constitution says you won't have to vote in 4 years?
Yeah. It's amazing.
This is one time. We also have Trump talking about how he would be a dictator only for 1 day. That's twice that he's talked about this.
Yeah.
There was another time where he was speaking to an NRA meeting where he was said, and they're quoting here, you know, FDR, 16 years, almost 16 years. He was 4 terms. I don't know. Are we going to be considered 3-term or 2-term?
Yeah.
The man, listen, y'all.
Well, I mean, you don't. I mean,
it's whether
for
you
the sake of brevity, I will say I hear what you're saying.
Look,
and I hope that people. Let me say this: Kellyanne Conway, you know George Conway, right?
I heard.
George Conway has created a political action committee that actually presents the mental illness of Trump. That's all. He put $300,000+ of his own money, and all it does is diagnoses and analyzes the mental health issues that Donald Trump has. And I really think it does need to be done, because a lot of this comes from someone who is mentally ill. I mean, I really do feel that way. I felt that way even going back to, some of the stuff he said when he ran against Hillary. But I'm going to leave it at that. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to make sure. Yeah. I want to make sure that's on the website as well. So I'm going to put that on the website. Yeah,
please put that article up.
All right. I'm just going to say this real quick because we got to wrap. Unfortunately, man, and I feel your pain to leave. I feel your pain. Why? This is going to be very little about policy. It's going to be about attacking. This to me is a colorized version of Trump versus Hillary. A racist version versus just a misogynist version of Trump. He's going to pull out all his misogynist language, actions, and basically colorize it to meet the need to cover Kamala Harris. Okay? So, don't be surprised. And the fact that, you just mentioned the fact that this religious group, who sits there and even takes it as a religious group? And that just speaks. Yeah.
Those evangelicals are not about religion. They are about political power.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, that's exposed. If we didn't know it before, we know it now.
It ain't about Jesus, the loving Jesus we know. I'll just say that. I have to question the people who support, and I definitely question white evangelicals. But I will say this: if you're white, if you're non-ethnic, and you disagree with this, you can't just sit around and shake your head. You got to speak up. You can't just sit around. You got to speak up.
Right.
It hurts. It hurts, and it enables them when you don't. You got to take a moral stand. So if you listen to the podcast, I'm not trying to make white people guilty. I want everybody to listen to the show, but it is what it is. You have to take a moral stand. Let me ask you, and for Vi, you're into sport. We're all into sports. Okay. If this same kind of language came from your favorite a football coach about an opponent, same kind of action, same kind of language, what would you say?
I ain't playing with him no more.
But what would the public say about that?
I would definitely not let my kids play for him.
Right. But would you encourage that language among competitive coaches and leadership?
No. It's like it's almost like it's kill or be killed, and that's not what sports is about.
Yeah. Even sports gets, as crazy as sports can get competitively,
it's not kill or be killed.
Politics has become. That's why people don't like it. It's hard to do a political podcast because
the biggest thing about politics,
it's become more so about the cult, the personality, the language, which is negative. It's become so toxic that people just don't want to deal with the toxic. Okay, last word because we got to go. Go ahead, Bud.
Well, no more compromise. Politics in the way we live in the United States is about getting along. Yeah. They're not trying to get along because they want to in fact say, if we can't have our way, we can have a civil war. So we're gonna have a civil war because we disagree with you. Yeah. Because we have a right to have our. So basically saying, if I don't side with you, you want to fight. My thing is, I'm not for civil war. Trust me, I'm not. But they better know we got guns too.
Yeah, so true.
We ain't ready no more now. The days of running and yes, master, those days are over. Yeah. So if you bring it, you better make sure you really want to bring it, because I hate to tell you, there ain't no more running.
Yeah, so true. Hey, on that note, I'm gonna move on and just say I'd love to get your feedback, positive or negative, on our episodes. We really would like that. We'd love your thoughts. Go to castropolis.net. Choose the people poll. Leave us a voice message. I appreciate all those who do. I'll play back the best. And I got to say thanks to the big supporters, man. Our website We've updated the website to include election info, Project 25. If you're unsure about it, there's some articles and some information about exactly what it is if you don't want to read the 900-plus page document, because there's a lot of craziness up in that. Important articles, Kamala info, info on national voting. If you're not sure if you're registered, you can go there as well, and a bunch more. So thank you again. I got to say thanks. Let me make sure I give it up to our supporters, man, because I can't do it. It's time to go back to school. Can't do it on my own.
Hey, man,
but I will say thanks to y'all who came through for me. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. Again, Talib, Shabazz, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Sure.
Country commentator, Mama had a good time.
Hey, we ain't done.
It ain't over. Mama tour continues.
We're not done yet.
Oh, man.
All right, y'all.
That looks at it all.
All right, y'all. Let's take a break, and we'll do the Tea with Tonya B coming up. Again, thanks, fellas. Hey, what's up? This is the G Podcast listeners. How you doing? We want to keep bringing you awesome content without any of the annoying ads interrupting the flow. If you enjoy what you hear, consider contributing to our podcast by giving as little as $1 or whatever you can spare. Head over to our website at castropolis.net. That's CASTROPOLIS.net to show your support. Thank you for being amazing listeners and for helping us keep This Is the G Podcast virtually ad-free. Your support means the world to us. Stay tuned for more fun and friendly conversations on This Is the G Podcast. Thanks again.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
It's me. It's your number one entertainment news chick, Tonya B, right here inside This Is the G Podcast. Let's just get right to the week's entertainment headlines. We have to go down to the 5,000 Black Baptist churches of Atlanta and say rest in peace to Abdul Duke Fakir. He was the last original living member of the legendary Four Tops. He's now in Motown heaven with Obi, Lawrence, and Levi. You know they had hits. Sugar Pie Honey Bunch, Bernadette. They even did a movie soundtrack, Shaft in Africa, Are You Man Enough? Shake Me, Wake Me, Baby, I Need Your Love, and all of that good stuff. We also have to, I don't know, Tommy B, but if I didn't do it, please forgive me. We have got to send a mad dose of love light to Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas. She was fierce, outspoken. She was iconic. She didn't take any mess from anybody. And I'm telling you, she was quite a fighter. Fought cancer twice. And I will say it again, the state of Texas will never be the same without Sheila Jackson Lee. Let's talk about Ashanti and Nelly. Word from the Curb is that the couple has welcomed a baby boy very quietly, but they want to save all the pomp and circumstance for this upcoming reality show. Don't know the network. I heard there's a bidding war. It will be coming soon. Child, we don't talk about Diddy, but we think Diddy going down once again. His name came up 77 times regarding the death of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. Child, Well, anyway, here's something else that makes you want to go, catch that 1980s, 1990s Arsenio Hall tea. Wayne Brady. Now, we know he'd been married and divorced. Told the world many times that he was, I guess, allegedly sexually fluid. Unfortunately, he recently lost his mom, but now more tea has been spilled that he has secretly welcomed a baby boy with his ex-girlfriend. His ex-wife says she's concerned about his stability, but now he's living his life now, but on a reality show. Who knew? It's on the Freeform channel. That's probably why I didn't know about it. In other parenting news, a judge in Georgia has awarded rapper Jeezy full custody of his daughter Monaco. That's right, full custody. That's the baby that he had with his ex-wife Jeannie Mai. Apparently Jeannie Mai was pulling tricks and stunts that did not impress the judge, and she's been out in California working for a while, so I don't know. We giving her the side eye. Is Common's girlfriend body count about to stop, Tommy B? He said if and when he ever does get married that it's going to be to Jennifer Hudson. She from Chicago too. Let's see what happens, because you try to leave her, I think she like to fight. Brashear Gray hasn't really done much since Empire ended in 2020. He was the son, Hakeem the rapper. All he does is get in trouble with the law. He got arrested again in Florida. His mugshots, they are almost in the double digits, but they're very, very frightening. He's got charges that range from trespassing to domestic violence. Young man, please take your ADHD meds, stop the drinking and drugging, and get yourself some help. The Washingtons are coming to Netflix. That's Denzel and them. He's producing a version of The Piano Lesson by August Wilson. His son Malcolm is a director. His daughter Katia, executive producer, starring his son John David Washington with Pauletta. But the cast is going to be excellent. How about Samuel L. Jackson and Erykah Badu, okay? Now, I'm saving the date August 9th for A&E's documentary, A Tale of Two Dirties. The first authorized documentary about Wu-Tang Clan's Old Dirty Bastard. You will have never before seen footage. His legal issues will come to the forefront, his addictions, his family, all that stuff I'm ready for. What I'm not ready for, and I'll just say anybody care, and then I'll say, not me. August 9th. The film, Girl, You Know It's True. The story of who cares? Milli Vanilli, they beat that horse too much. I'm done with that. Now, the Olympics opening ceremony, you know, it was everywhere. Except at my house. Now, they said it's something you've never seen before. And I didn't see it because I fell asleep during the Parade of Countries. After Kuwait, I don't remember much of anything. All I know is I woke up to the local news about 6 a.m. Didn't see Lady Gaga. Didn't see Celine Dion. I didn't see Snoop Dogg. But I'm waiting for the ballers, the gymnastics, anybody who's running track and field. And of course, we got to check out the break dancers. First time they're going to have break dancing in the Olympics. But here's one thing I want to know, Tommy B. How much is a medal in breaking really worth from the Olympics? Inquiring minds want to know. We'll just have to wait and see. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. Don't forget to check us out each and every weekend. This is the G Podcast. We sip this GT with your girl, Tonya B. Don't forget the YouTube channel. Don't forget social media. Like, subscribe, and share. And always remember, the Birdwire on Castropolis.net. On demand, 25/8. That's what I said, 25/8.
Thank you so much, Tonya B. You know, I'm always asking for input and feedback, so here's one I received for the week.
Rest in power, Sonya Massey. I'll say your name. And that deputy that gunned you down when you asked for help? Yeah. Okay. He's going to face a price behind them bars. And you better believe that.
Love your feedback. Go to Castropolis.net and leave a voicemail. We'll play back the best. You have to admit, y'all, what we're seeing in the Kamala for President campaign, we haven't seen since 2008 with Obama. This week alone, the campaign has raised over $200 million and signed up over 170,000 volunteers. Let's hope she keeps it going. Check the Yes, She Can section at our website at Castropolis.net. That's Castropolis.net. And don't forget, y'all, support us. Subscribe at This Is the G Podcast on YouTube or go to Castropolis.net. Thank you, TikTok. Our TikTok support has been great, but we need more followers, y'all. We're at This Is the G Podcast. If you're looking for us on TikTok, it's the whole thing at This Is the G Podcast. Don't forget to help us remain operating with minimal interruptions. Give at Castropolis.net. And with that, y'all, episode 231's in the can. Have a great week. Peace and power to the people.
You've been listening to This Is the G Podcast. And This Is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.